What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Plus Club on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we play the games offered to us on PlayStation Plus throughout the month, and at the end of the month we talk about them. Hopefully you had a chance to play those games. This month they were Invisible, Inc. and Stories. Also, Witcher 3 was our game of the month. Hopefully you got to play that. If you want to hear what we had to say about it, go back last Friday. Check out the Tasty Cast episode 19. We talk about there. Let us know what you thought of it there as well. Or here, I don't give a fuck where you tell us about it. And yeah, we don't know what's coming out for PlayStation Plus just yet for next month, but the game of the month for next month is Killing Floor 2. Make sure to play that if you haven't. If you do play it, let us know what you think of it. And
I believe it's on all platforms too.
Yeah, so it's out on PS4, it's on everything now, so you don't have an excuse unless you don't like FPSs, but it's really fun. Has some of the best, most rewarding shooting in a game I've played in a long time. It's really fun. But yeah, we played the two games this month. Let's start with the one I feel like we're not going to talk about as much, which was Invisible, Inc. Anybody want to start with that one?
So, Invisible, Inc. is similar to if you have played XCOM. Mm-hmm. Except for instead of, taking cover and shooting at aliens and stuff like that, it has a very heavy stealth focus. So knocking enemies out, taking cover, disabling electronics and stuff like that.
Hacking cameras.
Yeah. I think it's a neat game, but the whole time I played it, I was just like, I'd rather play XCOM, to be honest. And not that Invisible, Inc. is a bad game, but I just don't feel it offers enough,
individuality
to make you want to play an indie version over a AAA version.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was at on it. I played, I don't know, 4 or 5 missions on it roughly. I think 4. Regardless, it is neat. It has a lot of neat stuff, but I did find myself just wanting to play XCOM really. So
yeah, I'm in the same boat. I played it as well. I'm a huge fan of the XCOM series, and so when I first started playing, I'm like, oh, cool, it's like XCOM. But like you were saying, I feel like it doesn't offer enough for me to want to play it over another game that's similar to it. The one thing I can give it, though, is its art style is interesting, but I like the animations. I think the animations in the game are really neat to see the characters move and how they, shoot people and incapacitate them and stuff like that. I like that there is a system a la Metal Gear Solid, where if you knock a guy out, they'll wake up later and be like, what the fuck? So you have to kind of think about that kind of thing.
What the fuck was that?
I wish they said that in Metal Gear Solid. What the fuck was that noise? Be realistic. But yeah, I also didn't play it too much, which kind of sucks because I try and make an effort to play the Plus games enough to talk about them, and I felt like within the first mission, I played beyond that, but within the first mission, I felt like I kind of knew what this game was instantly, and there's nothing compelling enough to make me continue playing it. So I think it's a good effort. I think they did a good job on it, but yeah, there's just better games in the genre, and this just made me want to play those.
I did enjoy it the bit that I played of it. I played maybe 3 or 4 missions like you did. But unfortunately the whole time me playing it, I just was like, I'd rather play Final Fantasy Tactics. And that's kind of what problem with me was. I was kind of going into the game thinking is like, okay, well, it's similar to that, so that's kind of what I was expecting out of it. But the gameplay is just not something really I'm super interested in, just because having to have so many moves per or actions because you have so many points, stuff like that, it just doesn't suit me. I think it was well done, but just it didn't grasp me. The whole concept of being a spy agency going against the corporation stuff, it just didn't compel me.
Well, that's one thing that doesn't ever really grab me in any games ever is being a spy. I don't know why, but anytime I play a game with spies in it, it doesn't do anything for me. The spy genre is not that interesting to me. I mean, even in movies, I like Bond. I like Jason Bourne. He's not really a spy. He's kind of a all-around do-everything kind of guy. But yeah, the whole trench coat, fucking hat, secretive files type dude, it's just not compelling to me ever. So, and that's a personal thing. It's nothing against it. I'm not talking shit about it. But yeah, it just doesn't do anything for me. So, yeah. Any other words on it? Who would you suggest this or recommend this game?
I was actually going to say, if you don't have access to getting XCOM, this game was given to you with your PlayStation Plus, and it is a good alternative. I do think that, and you can get a taste for that type of game. And if you play through this game and you enjoy it, I think it's a good stepping stone to get you into XCOM and actually spend the money on that game at that point. Otherwise, if you like tactical games, turn-based strategy, or just all-around games where you kind of get to mess with like systems and stuff like that, I think you would enjoy this. So.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it all. I think a big emphasis, though, if you're into, like, if you are the demographic of people who like spy games or any kind of spy storyline, this might be right up your alley. You might enjoy it more because of that whole narrative. You might like that whole, how that story's going to play out. But yeah, I completely agree. If you're into turn-based strategy games or just tactical games, it's there, and it's not bad. So, I mean, if you've played them all, too, and you're looking for something new, you've already done everything in those games, check it out.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, so that was quick. This might be a short episode. Let us know in the comments, though, if you've played it, never heard of it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let us know. As I throw something. The second game we played this month was Stories. This game, here's the funny thing. So when I saw both games, I was like, oh, wow, it's kind of a shitty month. And then I started playing the spy game. I was like, oh, this is probably going to be the game of the two games that I'm going to like. And I played them like, whatever. And then I played a little bit of Stories, and I was like, this game sucks. And I just like turned it off. And then literally right before recording this episode, I put in some more time on it, and I couldn't stop playing it, to be honest. This game is really fucking cool. I liked it a lot. For people who didn't play it or whatever, it is a story-centric, like top-down action-adventure game that is very much about the story. It's almost a roguelike in the sense that you beat the game and start from the beginning again, but you make decisions in the story that alter how the story pans out. And it seems like you get certain items through what stories you play. While we played, I got a orb that flew around with me and just shot shit for me. You guys didn't get that when we were talking about it. You might have it now, I don't know. But yeah, it's a really interesting premise. Anthropomorphic, like animal type people. The art style is really colorful. Yeah. Does anybody have any things to say about it?
I was gonna say some things I did want to bring up was like you when I first played it. I think I got chapter 3 on my first story and I shut it off and I uninstalled it. I just I was like, okay, I get it, and I was done. I didn't get it because reinstalling it so that because Chris's internet was being stupid, he came over and played it here.
You're so disinterested in it. You like hit me up. You're like, hey, do you still have that installed? I'm like, yeah. And you're like, can Chris try it on there? You're like, I don't have it installed. I'm like, well, I don't think it'd take that long to reinstall, but yeah, you can play it on mine. So like, obviously, you're just like done with that fucking game. I don't even want to reinstall it.
So yeah, I reinstalled it. Chris started playing it, and I was watching him play. And after completing a story and actually realizing the level of depth in the game, so if you play the game or beat one story at least, 5 chapters, just go through it. If the
takes about an hour.
The end part with showing you kind of the depth of the system and the replayability of it doesn't get you, you're probably not going to be interested in the game anymore. Yep. I also love that it's like an elaborate choose your own adventure. How many endings were there? Like
25 plus the secret one.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there. I'm very impressed. I was not expecting them to put that much content in, and there's constant dialogue. They're very reminiscent of Bastion.
Bastion. I was about to say, this game has a heavy Bastion vibe to it. Also, some parts of it remind me of Zelda because you unlock certain moves that allow you to go to different locations as you keep playing the game. And also visually, not necessarily the character models, even though the main character reminds me a lot of Harlock from Harlock Saga. If you know what that is. It's an anime. This game takes a lot of influence from a lot of things. It makes jokes from other things all the time. But visually, the world reminds me a lot of Torchlight. And how cartoony it is. Constantly running around, I'm like, this reminds me so much of Torchlight. And I say that in the best way possible. I think it takes a lot of... I'm not saying they took the idea from Torchlight, but it reminds me of it. But I think it takes all these ideas and kind of creates its own identity pretty well. And it is really interesting. The further I played it, the more I started appreciating it more and more. Because I played it at first, hit a dude. And I was like, I get what this is. And I quit playing it. It was that bad. I was watching YouTube. I decided to do that and not play this game. And then I was playing it again, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, I get what they're doing. It's a cool little indie game, whatever. And I kept playing. I'm like, man, this actually has a lot to it. Like, I want to keep playing this. There's, like, skill trees, items you're unlocking, new weapons you don't have access to the first playthrough. Like, there's just a lot of shit to keep unraveling. And because there is different routes to take once you get new items and different story arcs to mix with other ones to get different endings, because when you beat it, it shows you which ending you got and the ones you don't have. There's just a lot to take from it. There's way more to this game than I thought there was. I mean, like, it's insane that I literally just played the game for a second, hit a dude, and I was done with it. Because that would have been a grave injustice to this game if I just stopped there. Would have been kind of embarrassing. But yeah, I've really been digging it.
I loved it. It was so much fun. Like you said, the graphics of the game are like jaw dropping.
They're not, but there's some things I thought were really, like, there's a part where I was running across a bridge and there's lava, and when the lava like blew out like sparks or whatever, the blur effect on them were really good. Like, I was just sitting there looking, I'm like, that looks really good. I mean, the game does have some particle effects that lags the game out, like
a little, yeah. I do like the art style of when the characters are talking, though. Like, it pops with little faces, and it's like, reminds me of very old manga style art.
Yeah.
It's not overly complicated, but it's it's detailed enough to get a good idea of the character across. And I like the idea of, I'm one of those people who like to see all aspects of a story, so having to go through this 25 times really does appeal to me.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what it's going to be like too, and you have like 3 storylines left to finish, and you're trying to figure out how to get those outside of looking at like a guide or whatever.
I did notice the really nice feature, I think, is that when you're going through the missions and you're choosing which arc to go through, you'll have a little stamp in the corner saying that you went this route before. So I think it's really nice and handy to go through and try to complete all the stories with that. I
just noticed that there's parts of the story I already have done in previous playthroughs that when I went a route that I had not gone, it had 2 options that I had already done. So I'm wondering if picking one of those 2 will still mix it enough to make the different ending or not. But yeah.
Well, I think as an example of that, actually, one of the first ones I did was pretty much selecting the top options almost the whole time.
Yeah, I went bottom the first time.
And it basically turns out that you
spoiler alert.
Yeah, you go to your childhood friend, who's also the emperor's daughter, and you decide you're gonna take her to the rebel base, and they're gonna interrogate her, and you're gonna get all the information you need on the Empire. And I went 100% with that path, because at one point your character goes, man, I feel kind of bad about this. I know this person. I have a history with them. What if I just had a conversation with her instead? Which is the choice you did. And it was really interesting because in mine, when you get to her and you get to that point, she actually turns into the bad guy. And in your version, you end up actually having that rekindling of your friendship, your childhood friendship or whatever. And the rabbit guy, I can't remember, it's Lupino, ends up being the bad guy.
He spoiler, at the end,
this whole thing's spoiler.
Yeah, the whole thing. At the end, you're like with the princess, and you're gonna get on the ship, and I think you're gonna go talk to her father, if I recall right, try to like settle things out. And Lupino's like, "Fuck you," and shoots you, and you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also the interesting thing about this game too. Is obviously you could just beat all the storylines and be done with it and know everything about all the different ways you could go. But it's also interesting to talk about with people who made the different decisions, because games like that, even though there's a lot of games out there where it allows you to do different decisions, you don't really get like a whole lot of difference in those decisions. So it's cool to see an indie game like this have so many different routes to go, because you guys are talking about, like in my storyline, it was all pretty negative. It was like, I gotta go fucking kill the enemy who's the emperor's daughter or whatever, and you guys are talking about that they're friends and shit. And the reason I even got a hint of that is at the very end, he's like, you're the enemy. She's like, I was never your enemy. And then she freezes you and her, and then like the sun fucking comes crashing into you or some shit. And that's the end of it. Another thing that's really interesting too is like, as you play, it unlocks new areas too, and unlocks new stories to do. So you don't have all the content starting out. Which is really cool. It makes me excited to see what new levels, new enemies types, enemy types and shit there are in the game. So
Yeah. I can tell you about negative endings. I think I got the worst ending in the whole game. The most evil negative ending ever. You get the stone.
You got the One Ring.
Stone talks to you, tells you to kill people.
Mm.
You start slaughtering people, absorbing their souls. You come across the cat lady. You get the option to spare her or kill her with the stone's promise that if you kill her, he'll help make you emperor.
You'll be the emperor. Yeah.
Mm.
You slit her throat. That's literally what it says. Is you slice her throat open. Come along later across the rabbit, who's also apparently an old friend of yours, and you're talking to him. He's like, "You should really give her that stone." Blah blah blah. You're like, "No, just to get your point across. You poke him in the chest a little, poke him in the chest again, and it goes a little deeper, just to get your point across." And you accidentally
Get your point across.
kill him. You basically end up killing everybody to steal their souls. And you unleash the stone, and the big eye opens up and destroys everything.
Yep.
Time itself is destroyed.
Well, it's really interesting too that this game is so colorful and cartoony looking, but it has some pretty dark shit in it. I mean, that's some fucked up shit right there. And the whole thing with my ending, where she just like destroyed both of us, I was like, well, fuck, I didn't expect that to happen. That's literally the end of the story. I was gonna say, I also started that quest line with the rock or whatever, the stone, and it did the whole thing like, oh, kill the emperor's daughter, and I'll make you emperor and shit. And I chose to not do what it said, and it's like, what's his name, Reynardo.
Yeah.
It's like Reynardo doesn't like to be told what to do, so he's just like, fuck you. And I was like, yeah, that's how I would take care of that. No one's telling me what the fuck to do. And the whole time he's just kind of, the rock's just in the back like, oh, hey, you should do this. It's like, shut up. And he's like doing the mission or whatever. So it's interesting how diverse even that one storyline can be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the weapon you found that it was shooting things, if you have a second chance to go for that piece if you decide to save the rabbit character instead, Lupino. But then it's like, well, I probably still have time to get part of the weapon, which is what I started doing, and that part is poisoning my character now. I can't have more than 30 hit points. So
yeah,
now it's super hard. If I get hit, I die. So I'm heading, through the level or whatever to go to these scholars, and I get there and it's burnt down, and Lupino's just hanging out there like, oh, just reached down to get some cards and this place blew up. And he had previously expressed interest in taking the stone from you. And now he's like, well, come with me, we'll take you to the rebel base and we'll figure it out. And you're like, yeah, we could do that. They have, engineers and stuff to be able to figure this out. You're like, but I also know there's a sage on this mountain, type thing. So I'm heading to the mountain because I just don't trust the damn rabbit at this point. But it'll be interesting to go back and do that.
My first playthrough, I guess, was really cold because I got no information about Lupino or the Emperor's daughter. Because my first playthrough, it's like go do this or that, and it's like go save your old friend or get that orb.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna get the orb, and after that, it's like, well, you could still go save Lupino. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck Lupino is. Fuck this guy. And it's like, he's your old friend. I'm like, not that great a friend. And then I went and did the other thing, and like in between going to the next thing, it showed a picture of Lupino just like this, and shows a bunch of crow heads, which are the enemies, and they're all surrounding him. And it's just like, sacrifices have to be made, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I don't know the guy. So it's just really interesting to hear all the different dynamics.
Oh yeah.
Also worth mentioning, I like that there is you can upgrade your weapons. There's different elements that open different doors as you progress. So as you level, you'll be able to go to different areas. But also there's gems that you can put on your guy. There's 3 slots, and you get those, and they offer a bunch of new and different things to do. I have one that instantly knocks shields out of people's hands. I have another one that ups my attack speed, and another one that ups my defense. So my guy's pretty OP right now.
I have crit damage and treasure finder. So.
Oh, nice.
I got 4 gems.
Equipped?
No, I found 4. So I've got damage, resistance against physical, damage resistance against magic, increased rare item find by 1%, and attack speed.
Yeah, the attack speed one too. It doesn't seem that much faster, but it's only level 1. So, but I was glad to see that because I like that obviously we've all gotten random gems. That there's some varied and interesting gems to find. I mean, I thought the shield one was really interesting. It introduces the shield guys. It's like you got to do this and that and this and that to get around the shield, and I just go and the shield goes on the ground. And I fucking kill them. So, yeah. Skills. What kind of skills have you guys been dabbling with? Obviously, there's ones you have to get, but you start getting a little more diverse later.
As I unlocked the second tier, I just spent more in health again. So a lot of in the passive regard to that, and then I noted Chris on his playthrough I was watching, he got the skill to take people's shields with the grappling hook. I took that because I hated having to throw enemies and shield guys. So that's about it though. So
Yeah, outside of the ones you're supposed to unlock, I have my run speed up, which is actually very significant. You cruise across levels, which is great for me because I'm impatient. So I'm just like, get me through this shit. And then I have one that allows you to attack people at a distance based off of your combo counter. It starts at 30, and then it goes to 20, then to 10. I have it at 20 now, so it does a long distance attack thing. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Well, I got the run speed one as well. I've got the shield removal thing, and I've got all the time ones, which are really nice. So like, anytime I parry, I have a split, it's like a little second to decide a different action in between to like, it basically just slows down combat instantly for me for a split second, so it makes it easier to fight multiple enemies at once.
That is
go ahead. I was just gonna say it'd be nice to have with the poison quest I'm on right now because
definitely.
they're throwing enemies at me, and I'm just like, I literally, if you touch me, I'm dead. So yeah, that'd be a nice one to have for that.
If I do have anything negative to say about this game, it's not even negative really, but it's just an observation. I haven't been challenged once in the game. And then I was watching you, and you had that weird situation where you're being poisoned and stuff. I haven't gone through that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just kind of walked through the game. But I've been enjoying it, so that's good. If anything, I hope the further I progress into it and the more powers I get, because I already have enough to just walk through everybody. I hope the enemies ramp up a bit. They introduce something new, or at least they scale in some way. Because if it does continue to keep being easy like this, it's gonna be hard for me to keep my interest. But so far, I want to play right now. So, does this game have multiplayer?
No.
Is that the one thing I gotta be like, I wish I had multiplayer? Because every game ever.
I don't think it would actually benefit this one.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Decisions, you
I
definitely
still think
agree.
it would add or take away from it. I just think it'd just be there. I actually. So I guess a good example I'll give you is like in Magicka, like it's obviously geared for multiplayer and mixing your spells and stuff, but I think it's a huge deterrent for the fucking game.
Oh, it's one of the only games I don't want. I mean, the multiplayer is fun in Magic, but it's also very frustrating. So
I don't know. I just feel like this game is a good single player experience playing it.
God, it's hard for me to accept in any game. I want to play everything with everyone.
Well, even like Final Fantasy 15, which is definitely designed to be a single player game, I'm looking forward to the multiplayer DLC
Me
for that
too.
because I think it would work very well in that. I just don't think I care enough with this game that I would even care.
What if they did like a Divinity Original Sin system where like you rock, paper, scissors on the decisions?
If they made a sequel and there was a lot more stories involved and
like
they had a
two-person
focus
puzzles and
around
shit.
that kind of stuff, sure, I think that'd be a great addition
Yeah.
on top of the current systems. So I mean, if you guys happen to stumble across this video, make a sequel. These are things we'd like to see.
Definitely.
But in the current game, I don't think it would benefit.
No.
So
Yeah, I just think it'd be fun to play with somebody, but at the same time, like you said, I can admit I don't think it would add anything to the game.
yeah.
I don't think it'd take anything from it either, but I think they would have to do some alterations to the game to really make co-op a worthwhile thing
Yeah.
to work on. So I can get behind that.
I can see how it could be doable too, though. In a newer game, you could just make those characters that we already have: the princess, the sorceress lady,
Or even
and
brand new characters.
Lupino. Well, yeah, but they seem to have base classes of their own. Like she's a sorceress, she does magic. Lupino seems kind of more of like a rogue type character because he uses a crossbow. It seems so it'd be easy to incorporate those characters into a new game, and like still have like the elemental types that open doors, but make it so like certain doors have like double elemental types so that you both have to have the right combination to do it.
That'd be interesting, yeah. Who would you recommend this game to?
I would recommend this game to virtually anyone, I think. It offers a little bit from almost every genre minus shooters.
Yeah.
It has RPG elements. It has crafting, a little minimal, but it's there. Customization in the aspect of the gem system. And plus you can choose which sword you want to use. I mean, I find myself mostly using the hero sword because I like the healing, but the freezing was cool, being able to like crowd control an enemy for a second. If you like it, action adventure, you like Zelda-esque games, you like if your choices matter in games, I think this game's pretty much playable by pretty much any gamer out there.
Yeah, pretty much agree. Even if you like Diablo, you're not going to get the same loot, but you're still going to get random loot, which is kind of nice. Anyone who like misses games like this from like PS2 era, this game screams PS2 era to me. Mm-hmm. So if you miss like those old platformer games, top-down games, games like Klonoa and shit, if you remember that, definitely worth checking out. If you like Zelda, stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. I feel like you could literally have anyone sit down and play this, and they probably wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
Which sounds weird, but there's people who are only into like Madden and stuff. I don't know how impressed they'd be by it, but I don't think they would hate it. But I think most people can enjoy this game. It's pretty straightforward. Everything's streamlined and pretty simplistic and in a good way.
Easy to play, type of game. So
yeah,
I would definitely recommend this game. Not so wide, honestly. I think more of like someone who's looking for something more casual to play, but who likes to have stories to choose options to, and hear all the different stories. Because if you don't, you're not going to get a lot out of this game. You're going to get one playthrough and you're going to be done with it. As the cosmetic horde, there's no real cosmetics in this game. You get your weapons, you can upgrade them twice as far as we know, and there's only 4 weapons. So if you're looking for diversity in weapons, like a Warframe style game or Dynasty Warriors game, you're not going to get that.
That's a huge drastic difference.
It is. It is. But if you definitely
opposites.
Anybody who's looking for more of like a casual sit down, you've got some time to spend, you want to look into a story, that's who I
recommend. A playthrough is not even long. I mean, it takes like an hour and a half. So this is a really good game, and that's why I equated it to like roguelikes before, because you literally play through, you get your experience, and you can stop there, or you can start again, have some progression with your character, but then have a whole new experience.
If you're stopping there, you're doing a great disservice to yourself, I think.
Yeah, I had to beat my first playthrough to really appreciate and want to keep playing the game.
That was both of us.
Yeah.
So I literally I not only was like disinterested, but I deleted the fucker. So
yeah. So definitely, if you play this, play through your first playthrough. It's only like 5 chapters. Won't take you long. Takes about an hour, like I said before, and that's when you can pretty much have a good opinion on this game. Unless you just play and you're like, I don't like games where I swing swords with the square button. To each their own. To each their own, I guess. if you're that rare person. But yeah, any last thoughts on this game?
Tell us what endings you got in your first playthrough.
Yeah.
Let us know what you got, because each ending has a title, and they give you different bonuses. So just tell us which one you got.
Yeah, definitely. And let us know what you thought of the game. And if you haven't played this game, does it sound interesting to you? Does it sound like something? Are we wrong for saying everyone should be able to enjoy this game? Let us know. But I think it's going to do it for this episode of Plus Club on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr and Twitter, Tasty Loot Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. And this is our last episode of 2016, I believe. It was a good year. We're going to continue doing this next year as well. Hopefully you stick around and continue the conversation with us. Keep watching us. Just say a bunch of stuff about video games. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you guys next year. Until then, take it easy, guys.
Gay people don't do overhead lighting.
Why?
Because it's bad on the face.
It'll be like this, though. It'll be diffused.
You should watch Tuang Fu again.
We'll figure it out. Well, I've never actually seen it. I'll have to watch. I've heard it's good.
You are not allowed to get weird when people haven't seen things.
But that was a classic.
But I've seen a lot of movies, so I don't have an excuse.
A lot of things.
Patrick Swayze.
Have you seen this? No.
The boom lighting will be like there. We'll figure it out. If it looks bad, we're not going to use it.